Good day, everyone. We are here to present our research proposal entitled The Common Reason on Late Submission of Outputs During Online Learning.
These are the members of this research: Archibald Kisan Carl, Bugtay Roy Vincent, Calabio Dandy Dwayne, Figueres Jovi Moriel, Luha Nara Julian, and Sabilyaga Jessica.
Rationale of the study. There is never a good explanation or an excuse for late assignment or project submission. We will try to address the true why student contemplates submitting their assignment late for assessment in this research report. Since we were all adult, we began to question the do it now or DIN theory, in which we were told to complete our jobs and project as soon as possible, if not immediately. However, we all managed to reject this hypothesis, making it impossible for us to complete our task on time. Consider what this factor might be that forced us to submit our assignment late for assessment. For a brief while, we may believe that we are in a period of transition in our life, and those who still believe in the concept of late submission of assignment, so it might all be the result of a spoiled lifestyle, a new schedule, a new culture, or too many firsts witnessed by the child, concerns about classwork, income, or a new relationship often prevent students from submitting assignment on time. Procrastination is the deliberate postponement of a task. Procrastination was acknowledged as a problem by almost 70% of a college student due 2015. Students who pause in late in online class have a considerably higher chance of being unsuccessful overall due to a lack of self-regulation. This study will therefore achieve the general objective of identifying and analyzing the different reasons for the late submission of output during online learning. The shift to remote or distance learning modalities such as self-learning modules and online classes. We researchers want to know what the reason of student late submission of school output are unresolved this common problem in online learning.
Objectives of the study. This paper seeks to achieve its general objectives of identifying and analyzing the different reasons on the late submissions of outputs during online learning of students from BPED 2A by focusing on the following specific objectives. Number 1 is to identify the reasons for late submissions of outputs during online learning, to know the impact of late submissions of outputs during online learning to the students, and to identify the different ways to resolve the late submissions of outputs during online learning.
Potential output. Many students have found themselves late at night sitting over an essay and stressing out because it had to be completed by the next morning. This is a typical situation for a student. However, you can get rid of such bad habits and learn to never put yourself through such stress again. Best way to complete your assignment on time. The recommendation of CAREC 2020 will help students to never stress out over the late assignment submission. Know what your assignment is, get a professional help, and never write papers in the evening, because the practice shows that doing homework late in the evening is not productive and it limits your opportunities to get help. Started working on your assignment in the morning will save you from so much frustration as if you started doing it late at night. The earlier you start, the more time you will have to research the topic. Thus, When accepted, the findings of this research will be intended to identify the common reason on the late submission of outputs during online learning. Specifically, number 1, the reason of late assignments of output of BPEd 2A students. Number 2, how these factors affect the studies of BPEd 2A students. And number 3, how to resolve the common problems during online learning by giving recommendations to students and teachers. Thank you so much.
Beneficiaries. This study is beneficial to the students, primarily the BPEd 2A students and the teachers in Central Mindanao University, in order for them to be able to recognize the reasons of late submissions during online learning and to determine the impact of late submissions of activities and outputs. These sufficient findings and informations will help them learn different solutions to avoid these common problems during the online learning. Finally, this research will also gain benefits for further studies about inline problems in online learning.
Research methodology.
Research design. This is a qualitative type of study, and we will use descriptive analysis in analyzing the data to identify the common reasons of late submissions of outputs by college students during online learning in Central Mindanao University. Data gathering. The data collection will be carried out online through Google Forms, interviews, video conference, email, or phone call, whatever methods the selected respondent may prefer. Once the results are accumulated, the researchers will analyze and interpret the answers of the respondents on the common reasons for the late submissions of outputs by college students during online learning. Data analysis. The researchers will use qualitative data analysis, which refers to the gathering of deliberately selected people to participate in the given questionnaire that is intended to elicit respondents about their common reasons on the late submissions of output during online learning. After gathering all the data, the result will be interpreted and summarized, thus conclusions and recommendations will be formulated.
Work plan. The timetable that is shown is the working schedule carrying out this research. The project is expected to be completed in 18 weeks with the following indicated as the activities, durations for every section of the research project. Number 1. Title. In making the title, the time duration is 1 week and the task is to create title for the research study. Number 2. Introduction. The time duration is also 1 week and the task is to read of existing studies to create introduction of the research study. Number 3. Need for this study. The time duration is 2 weeks and the task is to read of existing studies and identify the needs of the study. Number 4. Background. The time duration is 3 weeks and the task is to identify the purpose and the objectives of the study. Number 5. Objectives. The time duration is 1 week and the task is to identify the research focus and questions including the hypothesis of the study. Number 6. Research questions and or hypothesis. The time duration is 1 week and the task is to decide what methodology fits the objectives of the study. Number 7. Research methodology. The time duration is 2 weeks and the task is to decide what methodology fits the objectives of the study. Number 8 is the data analysis, interpretations, and discussions. The time duration of this is 3 weeks and the task is to process the data from the procedures used and to generate findings. Number 9. Summary, conclusion, and recommendations. The time duration is 3 weeks and the task is to finalize the findings of the study and making of recommendations. Number 10. Reviewing work for final submission. The time duration of this is 1 week, and the task is to carefully review the data and information presented on the study, and the total hours or weeks of this is 18 weeks.
Financial plan.
Spending is required in order to execute an effective study. So this is our financial plan. In items or procedure, personnel research assistants, we have a quantity of 6 assistants and our individual cost is 200 pesos. So we have the total cost of 1,200 pesos. In research participants, or the focus group of our team, we have 20 quantity or 20 participants and our individual cost is 50 pesos with a total cost of 1,000 pesos. While in our interviewees, we have 15 quantity and our individual cost is 50 pesos. So the total cost is 750 pesos. For our materials and supplies in copying printing, we don't know the exact quantity. And for our individual cost, we have 300 pesos with a total cost of 1,800. And for our miscellaneous supplies, the individual cost is 200 pesos with a total cost of 1,200 pesos. And the overall cost is 5,950 pesos. Each of us will contribute 1,000 pesos, bringing the total cost to 5,950, which includes materials and supplies, and we believe the amount we stated is accurate.
Thank you for listening.